you, Count Corda. First of all, I'd like to welcome Deputy Murphy here as being the sole member of the opposition. I remember many a time Deputy Wallace remarking the fact that there was no TDs from either the government side or some of the opposition in the Dáil here, but I do welcome you as being the sole representative of the opposition here tonight. Again, I must welcome this bill. There's a couple of things that I just want to speak on. The two sections I will be talking on will be the section regarding the Good Samaritans section of it, and also the bankruptcy, the change in the amendment to the Bankruptcy Act of 1988. With regard to the Good Samaritan section of the bill, I must compliment Deputy Timmins for initiating this a number of years ago. I know it didn't get through the Dáil at the time, but thanks to his hard work, we have something here today. There are really two sections that I just want to talk about. One is the Good Samaritan side regarding to defibrillators. Defibrillators are a very important part in sporting and recreational facilities around the country. And there is a worry among the sporting fraternity that people who wouldn't be trained in them and who would be on site might not be allowed to use them to aid someone who might be in some difficulty. There is clear instructions on these defibrillators, and maybe we might look at something on that, Minister, when you come to bring some amendments forward. The other thing too I would just want is notification in clubs and recreational facilities as to exactly what is a volunteer, what is a Good Samaritan Act. The problem I have with certain parts of the bill, and I think in most legislations, is the language is not written in wording that we all can understand. I think there was one section in this which had 75 words in a sentence. Now, again, I read to the bottom of the sentence. I had to go back to the start to realise what it was all about. And maybe, Minister, maybe we could look at something on that the wording could be much more simpler put forward so people can understand it, and that maybe notification can be put in clubs so that people know exactly what they are eligible to do. With regard to the Bankruptcy Act, I must say I welcome this with a tinge of regret. We have a situation here in this country where in 2009 there were 17 people who went into bankruptcy. Up to September 2010 there was only 19. Yet across the border in Northern Ireland there was in excess of 1,200. And the real difference between the two of them is because the first one is the cost factor that's involved in going into bankruptcy here. Again, I really speak for the small businesses, those people who have suffered as a knock-on effect of not being paid, small contractors, small little shopkeepers, and even individuals themselves, householders, that it's not economic for them to go into bankruptcy. MABs actually advise them not to do so. So the cost factor will be one. The secondly is the time period for a discharge of bankruptcy. When you look at it, in the UK, it's 12 months. You can be discharged from bankruptcy within 12 months. Here we're talking about 5 years, if we're good boys and we follow everything. Otherwise, it's up to 12 years. So something like that to bring us into line in what our neighbours on this island are doing. The other thing that could be looked at too as well, if we're going to think about bringing something in for the 12 months, that as they have in the States, under the Chapter 7 legislation, there they do not allow someone who has taken a Chapter 7 to go into bankruptcy again for another 6 years. So if we were to bring it down, say, to the 12 months, year and a half, 2 years, that we could put in a stipulation that people can't take bankruptcy again for a period of time. Outside of that, Minister, the other parts of the Acts, there's a whole variety of them. I won't deliberate on them, but I would hope you would consider some of those comments that I have made here this evening. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Deputy.